بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون صدق الله العظيم. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Abdul Salam sir. Now I request Professor Varsha Pawar ma'am from the Humanities and Applied Science Department to introduce our today's expert. Over to Professor Varsha Pawar ma'am.
Thank you, Nitin sir. Greetings to the entire science fraternity on National Science Day. The theme of National Science Day 2022 is Integrated Approach in Science and Technology for a Sustainable Future. On the eve of this celebration, I take this opportunity to introduce a versatile and most appropriate speaker of the day, Dr. Syed Mohsin, Director at Center for Digital Media, Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. He was born and brought up in Aurangabad, a historic city of India. He has completed PhD in Business Administration in the field of Quality Management, a graduate in Mechanical Engineer, and a postgraduate in MBA Operations from University of Pune. Dr. Mohsin has cleared NET exam conducted by UGC. He believes that research is the natural extension and has a social significance. His zeal, with his zeal, he has written several research papers on technical business management, behavioral science, and thus excel in the art of blending his creativity with innovation. He is a young and dynamic professor at Department of Management Science in an engineering college for almost 7 years and inspires a lot of students to take up challenges, imbibe skills, increase knowledge, and shape up the attitude of students. An active sports person who has completed many triathlons, marathons, been a captain of football team, and has won many matches. As a social responsibility, he has created a short film for social awareness on helmet for Aurangabad City Police and short film on United We Stand. Being a mathematician, he believes maths may not add happiness to your life. It may not subtract sorrow from your life, but it definitely teaches you one thing: every problem has a solution. With this note, I request Dr. Mohsin to grace the occasion with his valuable words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please.
You're
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful introduction you have given.
Sir, please next
Let
slide.
us start our journey from a student to a modern day leader. I'm not going to take much of your time. Part 1 will deal with a story. Part 2 will tell you the ABC of modern world, ABC of success in modern world. Third thing will be leadership and you. Fourth, what are the qualities we must learn or we must instill in ourselves. And fifth thing is the 3 things to start from today. Our webinar will be action oriented. So we will take action from today itself. So let me start with the story of hare and tortoise. There are 4 parts to it, and I am sure you must be knowing the first part. Can anyone tell me what is the first part? There is a race between hare and tortoise. The tortoise moves slowly and steadily, but the hare moves very fast. And he turns around and sees that tortoise is very far. So he decides to take a nap. He goes to sleep and he loses the race. How many of you know about this story? I guess all of you.
Yes, definitely, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now coming to the second part of the story, what happens now is the hare comes to know about science and its decisions, its relevance in taking decisions based on scientific facts, and he scientifically analyzes the race. Then he comes to the conclusion that if he has not slept, he would have won the race easily. In the second installment, he does not sleep and he completes the race. So who wins in this race?
Here, sir. Rabbit.
Hare. Definitely. So the lesson that we get from first story is slow and steady wins the race. Second, the lesson that we get from the second installment is fast and consistent will always beat slow and steady. So this is the era of being fast and consistent in whatever you do. In the third installment, the tortoise comes again to the hare and say, let's race far. Let's do racing till that tree which is beyond the river. Now the hare has got a lesson to be fast and consistent. So he is ready to participate in the race. The race starts. The hare moves slowly and steadily. The tortoise goes fast. But when the river comes, the hare cannot swim. He will drown in the river. He cannot swim. So he gets stuck. Now what to do? Whereas the tortoise comes, dives in the river and crosses the river and wins the race. So it is very important to identify your core competence. Core competence means your strength and weakness. You must be aware of what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and you must not accept challenges.
Nitin, sir, please unmute Mohsin, sir.
Sir, I have unmuted the motion, sir.
No, sir, he's having two accounts. So the one which is active, please.
Shall I log out from the laptop, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible, I think now. Yes, please.
So in the third case, the tortoise wins. Now by this time, both of them become friends and decide again to have the race on the same route. But the hare has got a lesson that you should not accept challenges in your weak zone or which is not your core competence. In that area, you must not accept challenges. So now they decide till river, hare will take tortoise on his back and in the river, tortoise will take hair on his back. So both of them win the race. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is about teamwork. If we collaborate, then we can
Yes.
share our core competencies.
Surely. Collaboration is always better than competition. Always remember, teamwork is a key to success. You must help your teams and you should take help from your team members. Next slide, please. Now let us understand getting success is as simple as ABC. What is success? I want to ask you, what is success? What is your definition of your success? Success can be a good job. It can mean being healthy. It can mean earning a lot of money. Success is passing of examination. Success may mean living a happy life. And there are many possibilities. You can come up with a variety of definitions of success. Next slide, please. ABC of success is action, belief, and consistency. I'll tell you another story. Once there was a jungle. In that jungle, on a tree, 4 parrots were sitting. Suddenly, a man comes with a gun and points toward one of the parrots. The parrot thinks that I should fly, otherwise I will die. If I want to save my life, I have to fly. The other two, what they do is they fly. So can you tell me who has died? Those who have taken action are saved. So we must not always think. Thinking to some extent is okay, but always thinking is not good. It tends to lead to overthinking, which, when done for a longer period of time, results in depression. And actions are the antidote for depression. Whenever you take action, chances of you getting successful are more. And you must take action with a belief that I am going to succeed. And there must be consistency in your action. So this is ABC of success. Remember this: action, belief, and consistency. Next slide, please. Next slide. Here is the photo of some of the leaders who have made a mark in the history. So what is leadership? Leadership is, next slide, please. Next slide, please. It is leading people. It is influencing people, commanding people, guiding people. You can become a leader if you are able to guide people. Just like we have religious leaders. What do? Most of the times they solve our problems, give solutions to problems, but we consider them as leaders. So let us see what are the types of leaders. Leader by position achieved. Leader by personality, charisma. Leader by moral example. Leader by power held. Intellectual leader. Leader because of ability to accomplish things. Now let me give you an example. Please take back the slide, sir. Leader by position achieved. I'll give you my example. In my university, I am a director. So with that title, there comes some responsibility and some authority also. So people consider me as a leader because I am a director. But that is very short-lived. We must become leader by personality and charisma, leader by moral example, intellectual leader. And when you accomplish things, when you do certain achievements, people naturally tend to believe you as a leader. Next slide, please. Now, these are four very important activities that any leader has to perform. It is known as PODC cycle. What it is known? PODC cycle. P for planning, O for organizing, D for directing, and C for controlling. Next slide, please. Now, what you have to do in planning? Next, you have to devise strategy. We have seen that you have to take action. So, in which direction you have to take action? You have to set direction. You have to create a vision. You have to see the unseeable. In organizing, next slide, please. For organizing anything, you will have to bring the skilled people on board, skilled people in your team, and you will have to do proper communication with them and form networks. Finally, directing. Next slide, please. You have to empower people to take their decisions, and you have to empower people to. Do you know what is a cheerleader? Cheerleader means people should cheer for you in the time of success. Controlling. First of all, you will have to motivate your team, inspire your team, and give a sense of accomplishment. Whenever there is some achievement, its credit should go to the entire team. There is a difference between motivation and inspiration. Can anyone tell me the difference? Okay, I will tell you. Inspiration is something which comes from within. Hello?
And motivation is nothing but to do something or do excel in our life.
What is the meaning of inspire?
So I could say that inspire is by seeing a role model or some person who has achieved a lot, and we get inspired by seeing their success stories, and we would like to inculcate those qualities within us.
Okay. I'll give a simple difference between both of them. Inspiration is something which comes from within, as ma'am has rightly said, something which comes from within. And motivation is something that we learn from others. We get motivated by someone else's action. When we see someone else motivated by now let us see what are the leadership qualities. Next slide, please. Intelligence. You should be intelligent, at least more than your followers. You must have more knowledge than your followers, being able to get things done. A leader is always physically fit and healthy. Personality, verbal facility. It means that the vocabulary of leader should always be good. He must have honesty in himself, and he must take initiatives. He must be aggressive, just like Mahendra Singh Dhoni. If you see, he has got aggression in himself. A leader should be confident. And final point is a leader should be ambitious. He should have good, higher goals. And finally, none of these should be copied from others. Be original, be yourself. Finally, sociability. Sociability means interpersonal skills. You must have good interpersonal skills. Finally, adaptability. You should adapt to situations, circumstances, and respond in a positive way. I hope all of you will become leaders today or tomorrow. So please take notes. Here is a general advice. What we are going through is a transition phase. We are shifting from physical medium to digital medium. So please try to take advantage of this transition. Get advice from your teachers or and counselors. Show empathy towards your team members and your followers. Learn leadership. These are few general examples. Now, what are the challenges that you need? Need knowledge quickly. Establish new relationships. For knowledge, the answer is very simple. You have got a mobile phone, smartphone, most probably. In that, you have got Google. So, getting knowledge is not difficult in these times. Establish relationships. Make relationships. Expectations. Try to fulfill your expectations and expectations of others from you. And finally, personal equilibrium. Equilibrium means balance. You must have balance in your personal and professional life. Next slide, please. Now let us see what are the traps. Not is one of the traps. Isolation. Isolation means if you are living alone, if you're not making friends, if you're not socializing, that will stop you from becoming a leader. Know it all attitude. Many of us suffer from this illness called as know it all. We think I know everything. That's where the problem lies. When you say you know everything, you miss the opportunity to know new things. Keeping existing team, we must rotate our team members in order to get new skills. And finally, taking on too much, captured by wrong people. Successor syndrome means following the plans and strategies of your former leader and implementing them in the same way. Next slide, please. Okay, we have to start few things from today. Create momentum. I hope all of you have studied momentum in some time of your career. What is momentum? When any object moves from point A to point B, it gains certain velocity. That means whenever you will take action, you will be able to create some momentum. Second, master technology of learning, reasoning, and coalition building. Coalition building means building bond or relationships. Finally, third one is manage oneself. You can see in the picture that the lady is climbing stairs. Initially, you will have to take action. Initially, you will have to take efforts. After some time, naturally, your body will take you up. Once you do it on a consistent basis, there will be credibility built for you. People will rely on your actions. People will rely on you. Demanding but can be satisfied. Accessible but not too familiar. You have to be focused but flexible in your approach. And finally, you must be active. Sometimes you will have to make tough decisions as a leader, but make sure that humanity is involved in them. You think from human point of view. Next slide, please. Master technologies. Learn from internal as well as external sources. Internal sources means your team members. External sources can be n number of things. Visioning, develop strategy. Push versus pull tools. Sometimes you have to push things on people to do. Sometimes they are so motivated or inspired that they will pull things to be done. You have to answer these questions. What values does the strategy embrace? Whenever you make a strategy, You will have to answer what values does the strategy embrace? And finally, what kind of behavior is needed? Sometimes a leader needs to be rude. Sometimes he has to be soft spoken. Sometimes a leader has to be diplomatic in approach. You need to understand what kind of behavior is needed and apply that behavior. Finally, whatever the leader sees a vision, he must communicate that vision to the team members. It could be through simple text. Nowadays, social media is also there. Social media could be used for communicating your vision, but it should be crystal clear, communicated properly. There should be no confusion. Confusion will lead to chaos. Next slide, please. Now, how to manage oneself. Next. Be aware of yourself. When do you get angry? When do you get happy? And take advice and counseling from a mentor. A mentor is very important. A mentor is preferably someone who is already a leader. Advice is from expert to leader. Counseling is insight. Be willing to help others and take help from others. There are three kinds of works. One work could be technical help. Second could be personal help. Third could be social help. In all the three, you must be free to ask for help and give your help also. These things will make you competent, trustworthy, and enhance your status as a leader. Next slide, please. How far can you go? This all depends on action, belief, and consent. For how long you take actions, for how long you believe in yourself, and how consistent you are. This will decide how far you can go. So I wish a great success to all of you, and I wish that one day or other you will all become leaders. Thank you so much. If you have any questions are welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request our participants, if you have any questions, you can either type in the chat box or directly you can unmute yourself and you can ask to our expert. Sir, there is one question has come from the Tambuli sir, and the question is, what are the types of leaders?
Yes, sir.
What are the types of leaders?
Please take back the slides.
Sir, which side?
One more, please.
One more.
Very beginning slide, sir. It is there. The very beginning, after some stories, there was a list of leaders. Yes, just previous to that.
Previous one. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, take it back. Yes, this one.
Okay.
Basically, this is very vast topic, sir. Therefore, I have tried to cover it in little time. Sometimes a person gets promotion and he becomes the leader. For example, he can become a principal or head of the department. So that is known as leader by position achieved. Some people have got personality and charisma. Because of that, they become leader. Third thing is by moral values. Some followers may be impressed by your moral values and become your followers. This generally happens in case of religious leaders. Leader by power held. This is similar to first one. If you become principal or HOD, you almost get the authority and power. So people have to follow you. Then there are intellectual leaders, which means people who are having intelligence more than their followers. And finally, leaders because of ability to accomplish things. For example, you gave example of Raman sir in the introduction of Science Day. He was a physicist and he got a Nobel Prize. So that is an achievement. So tomorrow, many of us may be inspired by him and become his follower. I hope the answer is clear, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request anybody else in our participants. You can type also. If you have any question, you can type in the chat box. I will read. Any students? Any students? They can also unmute themselves and they can ask the question.
Question from students are most welcome.
Yes, question from the students are most welcome.
Because they are the participants. No?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, is there any course become means for students to learn the leadership skills? Is there any professional course or what are the things that they can do to become a leader in college life?
First of all, answering your first part of the question, there are thousands of courses available on leadership, but I am not sure they may be matching to your requirements because there is a huge variety of students. Engineering, architecture, pharmacy, we are dealing with them right now. Arts is there, science is there, commerce, management. So even though the concept of leadership is same for all of them, but courses are designed in a different way. I will give you two platforms. You can search on them. Shall I give you?
Yes, sir.
Roll number 1905, please mute yourself. Roll number 1905, please mute.
Sayed sir, one more question has come. That is
Yes,
from the
sir.
Professor Varsha Power ma'am. And ma'am is asking,
Yes, sir.
what will be the part to achieve the leadership quality with us?
Sir, there is one quotation in English. All the roads lead to Rome.
Good.
That means if you take action And if you have belief in yourself and if you have consistency, then you will make your own path, sir. It could be the shortest route possible. Like for me, I became director of an institute in 1.5 months. Maybe they might have seen some qualities in me.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Any students? I encourage the students, please ask your question.
Sir, I want to do a small activity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can, sir. You can, sir.
I just want to take a feedback from students, a rating.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you have a link?
No, sir, on this chat only.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Generally, I create a Google form, but today I have not made it.
Okay, sir. Already, sir, Firoz sir has given a one link in this chat box. That is nothing but the feedback from attendance. In that, we are taking a feedback from the students through the Google form. But anyone, any students from the participants, they can want to give a feedback for the today's webinar. They can.
Kindly rate the webinar from 0 to 10 scale. On a scale of 0 to 10. We have another question. How the leader will help to science streams? When we talk of leadership, leadership is a general term. We cannot restrict it to science or arts or commerce or management or medical science. When you become a leader, you impact everything, whatever comes in your life, in whichever phase you are going to impact that. For example, I have shared the photo of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He is known as the Missile Man of India. He is a scientist. But if you see, he has more political followers as compared to science.
Yeah, at the same time, participants are requested, as the Dr. Mohsin sir said, please rate this sessions from 1 to 10 numbers. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you, Mustafa sir.
Uh,
May I have a chance to speak, please?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure, sir, please.
All right, I'm so delighted to see Dr. Mohsin again in action. In fact, Dr. Mohsin is someone who leads by an example. Dr. Mohsin, thank you very much for this excellent session. Dr. Mohsin and I, we belong to the same university. We haven't had the chance to work together very closely, but Dr. Mohsin is a very prominent figure from my university. Now he's making his mark on a national scale, since he is also having a leadership position at another different South Indian university now. For now, I'm working with the American University of Middle East here in Kuwait, but I am a very close follower of Dr. Mohsin's activities, and I really want to congratulate you, Dr. Mohsin, for your excellent work. We are happy to see you back in action, and inshallah, we hope to see you contributing more actively. Excellent session today. You covered the concepts of leadership on a very nice macro level, making the best use of time. Thank you very much for taking this effort and making it such an enlightening session. Thank you very much, Dr. Mohsin.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir,
Yeah.
for
Now
your
I
kind words.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request the finest and the most dynamic educationist of our Anjuman Islam, Dr. Abdul Razak Notagi, sir, who is currently acting as the director of Anjuman Islam Kalseka Technical Campus, to deliver the welcome speech. Over to director, sir.
Professor Nitin, is that going to be a welcome address or concluding address?
Uh, concluding address, sir.
It's all right, but because of my other parallel session, I could not attend, complete session of Dr. Mohsin. But I was told, and even I knew about him, that he's a very focused person. Whatever he takes up, be it leadership or technology or any area of his interest, a good person who is very much devoted. The students and participants know that an influence, it is an opportunity that can come to anyone who reaches to that strength, because leadership is a journey, and the moment when you reach a particular level and possess that strength to deal with that position in terms of dealing with people, dealing with any assignment given, dealing with some kind of developments, whatever. So all that requires certain skills, certain value set, and of course backed with knowledge. So if you are prepared with all this, and if you know that you are strong enough to deal with that, definitely such opportunities will knock at your door, and eventually you start even learning a lot being a leader. So that way, most of the things, as rightly pointed out now, the leadership at micro level has been covered, but theoretically, all that presented can be made practically possible only when you develop yourself. So if you want to really lead in your own chosen field, be it science, be it technology, be it pharmaceutical science or management, whatever, but see that values, knowledge, skills, and attitude, they play a vital role. So therefore, I appeal all of you that never try to, grab the leadership position. It is not anything which is to be acquired. It is not anything which has to come as a blessing. Leadership position, the moment when you develop that requisite strength, and when strength is there with you, then it is all divine decision that in different levels and in different organizations, you will be getting a blessing from the creator, because creator knows who is who and at what level who is required. And only thing is, we should always be ready to get those opportunities. So opportunities will come, they are open to everybody in this vast universe. So only thing is, never try to become a leader without having requisite knowledge, values, skills, and attitude. And if you, there are many people, you see, there are many people, so-called leaders, they somehow reach to the leadership level, but they will not stand there for a long time. Right? The moment they reach, there are many people who are likely to pull them down, and the person who is there at that position, if unable to bear that pull, then automatically they go down, which means they don't have that requisite strength to remain at that position. So it is not only reaching to a leadership position, but sustaining being at that position and further growing. That is most important. And if you're really a strong candidate, a strong person to lead any position, so normally good leaders, what they do, they all the time they try to create leading leaders further. It is not only keep it or keep that position as a very monopoly kind of position. So the leaders always try to create leaders like him and better than him. So therefore, leadership is really a very dynamic position. And if you keep growing, keep developing your strength, if you have all that required things, then you keep growing further up the ladder. And if you fail to have those requisite, strength, then naturally there is a possibility of going down also. So therefore, students especially, now your role is to develop these most four magical requirements: knowledge, values, skills, and attitude. If these four are there within you, and a day will come and definitely you will lead. And even now, whichever position you are in, you will be feeling that leadership. So the leadership is an influence basically. So a well thought of webinar today in order to celebrate this Science Day and make sense to our participants. Only thing is I was expecting many more students will attend this webinar, but anyway, this can be further repeated on a later date. And from Anjuman Islam, on behalf of our management and even on my personal behalf, let me congratulate Dr. Mohsin to be a part of this webinar and for making his work really meaningful to our participants. And I also thank organizers, especially Institution Innovation Council headed by Dr. Firoz Khan, IQAC coordinator Dr. Mujib Tamboli, all our deans, HODs. So thank you very much for hosting this kind of webinar, and let this be a continuous process, and let all these dimensions of holistic growth of students is taken care. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Now
Shall
I
I add
request.
one point to it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, you have rightly said about the opportunities. I would like to tell all our participants today that all of them have equal opportunities to become a leader. Knowledge, skill, and attitude is what will decide whether they become leader or not.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Participant, already the feedback come attendance link is given in the chat box. I request all the participants, please without fail, do not forget to give that response to that link. With this, I will announce over here the webinar is end. Webinar is over. Thank you very much, all of you. Firoz sir, with your permission, shall we end the meeting?
So wait for 2 minutes. Let them give the feedback. Then we'll close.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Students are requested, suppose if you have given your feedback, you can leave the meeting. Do not forget to give your feedback.
Nitin sir, I think now we can close.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.